Are you the kind of person who tucks in their bed sheets? Well, if you are, then you're in good company. Today we'll be sharing stories from our past, playing some games, and maybe even performing a live sketch or two. Let's turn off the PowerPoint switch obsessively, even though there's literally nothing plugged into it. Grab your knitting needles and a blanket, because it's time for three old friends to sit around and sew a new patch into their quilt of friendship. So join me, Dion, under the covers with Christian.
Welcome to Patchwork.
And Josh.
Welcome to Patchwork.
Now, before we get started, we just wanted to say we really appreciate when you write to us on Instagram in our direct messages. We read them all.
When you slide in there.
And a slippery slide to our DMs. But recently we've had some really great kind of little suggestions for things to talk about. And one echoed something that we discussed in season 3, which was men's deodorants and women's deodorants and how there's this big divide. And one of our listeners, Shaylee, wrote to us about how she wants to start using men's deodorants as well because they're stronger, apparently. They've got a stronger smell. And she brought up this point that she doesn't want to share her roll-on deodorant with her partner. Oh. Now, that originally I thought, well, that's a great thing to talk about. I raised it with Josh.
That's perfect for Welcome to Patchwork.
and Josh reminded me, he said, well, yeah, remember how I told you that I shared my mother's deodorant?
Yes.
Well, they were sharing a roll-on, Dion.
Yeah.
But let's be clear, there's two kinds of roll-on, right? Or maybe the terminology is different. So
Sure.
there's the roll-on that's like the end of a ballpoint pen that is a ball that rotates and spins.
Great
And then
description.
And then
Great description.
and then there's like the stick that's like a chunk of almost soap that you rub on, right?
Do those sticks still exist?
Yeah, that's what I used to use.
No, but do they still exist now?
Yeah.
Because they always used to crumble.
Yes.
They're always crumbly sticks.
And you put it out, you push it out too far, it just snaps.
Yeah. They never last till the end of their life.
Oh no, they do, and the problem is, then you get the plastic cuts because it like goes below the plastic lip,
What an
and then you
awful
just rub it.
story.
Is
plastic
that what
under
it
your
is?
arm.
Because I still use one, and I always get cuts, and I have to take
you don't.
I do. I have to take a period off it. I'm like, I guess it's the week off.
Christian's got a period underneath his armpits.
He's using a sugar deodorant.
But Josh, you used to share, irrespective
Yes.
of which type it was,
Yeah,
you would
bizarre.
share with your mother. Dion, do you see any anything off about that?
I think it's pretty strange. I don't know what would motivate you to, or why wouldn't you just get your own deodorant?
I didn't buy my deodorant.
But why don't you just get
I was
your
a
mum to buy your
child.
deodorant? Did you share a toothbrush with her as well?
Yeah, but is there any issue? So that's the thing. Is there a distinction between sharing toothbrush and sharing deodorant?
I think
Roll-on.
so. You eat with your mouth.
The armpit.
You eat with your armpit.
No, I know, no, but it's still the outside of your body rather than internal. I think that's the biggest divide.
You
there.
don't want to share bacteria with people voluntarily. Usually avoiding the sharing of bacteria.
The biggest distinction for me is so long as you don't leave hairs on it, I think you're fine.
Yeah.
So if you give it a go and there's a few underarm hairs on it, you've got to get them off.
So it's the evidence.
yeah.
What do you guys think when you find like a hair in a bit of food? What do you think when you find that hair?
Completely fine with it.
Yeah, me too.
People send food back. They say, oh, what a grotty kitchen. I go, no, someone's hair just fell into this.
What about if it's clearly... Oh, Josh, what do you think first? What do you think when you find a hair?
As a long-haired woman.
When you go to a restaurant, you go to a, let's be honest, a Chinese restaurant, and you find a hair in it. What do you think
Well,
of
no,
that?
because I...
Did you send it back?
Well, because I used to work at a restaurant. It's like, shit happens, as Christian was saying. It's like, it's not the end of the world that someone's dead cell hair
Oh, God,
fell
don't
on
say
a
it
thing.
like that.
But like, it's not, there's no flavour to it or something like that. It's like...
I love the idea that Josh is eating it. It's like it's part of his meal.
Oh, this is actually quite good.
No, you know what I mean? Like, it's not contaminated in a way that bothers me, I guess. I actually don't know how much it contaminates the food, if at all.
I think it'd be really good if a restaurant didn't have good hygiene, but they just explicitly said on their menus, like, it'd be Mongolian beef with vegetables and hair.
Hair has been shampooed thoroughly.
But I hate the getting the hair out.
Yeah.
I think it's way worse when it gets in your mouth. If you just see it on the plate and you can pick it out, that's so much better. But when it gets in there, that's bad news.
Yep.
By the time it's in your mouth, I feel as though you're just swallowing it.
I don't think I'd ever voluntarily swallow a hair.
Why?
Voluntarily.
Well, why? I
I want to be paid for it.
I just feel like
You worried you'll get a hairball or something?
I just feel like a hair going down my esophagus. There shouldn't be hairs going down there. Should be sort of bigger things or liquidy things or hard things. A hair will just get stuck.
It's not a drain.
Yeah.
You don't have a clogged drain.
Yes.
You want to get like one of those like cover filters, sick filters for your throat.
But to get back to sharing roll-on with your mother, Josh, is it the fact that it was a familial link that made it fine?
I think I would probably use a friend's one as well. And again, it would just be the evidence.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Would you touch your mother's armpit with your finger?
No, I'd rub my armpit on her armpit.
What about with a ballpoint pen?
But would you?
There is no cause for that to happen, but I wouldn't have an issue with it.
You wouldn't have an issue rubbing your finger on your mother's armpit?
When you word it like that,
I know.
it's fucking weird.
Christian, I'm very intrigued that you're going after Josh because he borrowed something from his mum. I'm wondering, did you... I don't know this. I don't know the answer to the question. Is there anything that you borrowed or borrow from your mum?
I don't think there is, to be honest.
Really?
No, I'm pretty weird with hygiene with regards to sharing with others.
Well, I've got something.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so what I used to borrow from my mum won't know this, is that when I yeah, it's
Borrow, yeah, she doesn't know about it.
is that when I was younger, when I was going through puberty, I'd have a lot of acne. So I borrowed a little bit of her foundation and I used it to tinge my face.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, and a bit of eyeshadow as well.
Yeah, and a bit of lippy. But I share roll-on deodorant with my girlfriend occasionally, and I feel as though you're right, Josh. It's about whether you're leaving any evidence behind. You know, if you leave a hair on there, that's the evidence, and it's better out of sight, out of mind.
So I just came back from overseas, and one thing I did was I had 24 hours in Singapore, and I stayed in one of those little transit hotels.
Oh, cool.
It was at the new Jewel Airport. Shout out to Jewel at Changi Airport in Singapore. It's amazing.
Is that Jewel like the crystal or Jewel like 2?
Jewel is in the singer. Yeah. So it's a whole effigy to her. Anyway, so I was staying in, they didn't call it a room, they call it a cabin. And I found out why it was a cabin. It was because I walked in with my girlfriend and it was really nice, but it was just a bed. And we were exhausted. It was 3 a.m. when we arrived and we had the room till 10. So we were absolutely exhausted and had a quick shower, went to get in the bed and could not untuck the sheets.
That's great.
The sheets were like, it was like they were glued. It's like that they'd made the decision that everyone likes sheets tucked in. And I'm firmly of the belief that when you get in a hotel room, the first thing you do, you have a look around, you check out if you get free shampoo, conditioner, all that sort of stuff, and then you untuck the fucking sheets.
One of the best things about going to a hotel is seeing the technique they've used to tuck the sheets in.
I don't care about the technique. I care about the impact that it has on my joints.
Don't you admire how firmly tucked it is?
There's no why. Where's the admiration? You just lift up the mattress and tuck it underneath.
So sometimes I'll get to the hotel, I'll see how tightly tucked it is, and I'll enjoy trying to get. I'll stand up where the pillow is and try to slide under their tuck without disrupting it.
Really?
Yeah.
I think what Christian would like is just a Velcro bed. Just like massive thing of Velcro.
I wish you could call room service to come and tuck you in. Velcro me up.
Christian, when you get in the bed finally, I was talking to a friend the other day, and apparently they kick and scream like a baby to untuck. I just rip the fucking thing out.
You get the whole thing out.
Rip it out. I don't want any attachment from the Doona to my mattress.
No, because you want to lock the warmth in.
Why?
And you want to lock the smells. And you want.
No, you don't.
I feel, but also
You're wearing Josh's mum's deodorant, maybe.
No, but I feel as though I roll around a lot during the night. And I want my sheets to stay in place, number one. But I also want the security that a tucked in sheet provides you with.
The thing is with the tuck in for me, I don't like the tuck, but in the context of a hotel, I like it because it's so foreign and rare to me. It's like, oh, here's this new experience that I stay in a hotel maybe a couple times a year, whatever. That like, oh, cool, let's make the most of this and see what it's like. But inevitably...
how is a tuck making the most of anything?
Well, you get, like Christian's saying, like you're all wrapped in very tight.
Yeah, it's a big hug from your bed.
But why don't you tuck at home?
What do you mean? Why don't I do tuck at home?
No, you don't.
I have tried for years to master the hospital corners technique.
And Christian leaves a mint on the edge of his bed as well every day.
It's like Mr. Bean trying to surprise myself, send myself letters. No, but I've been trying to master the hospital corners technique, and it is impossible to get right. And it's such a simple. I know that it's a simple technique, and people will send us videos. I can already see the influx of YouTube tutorials being sent to us, but every time I do it on one side, the other side pops out.
Christian, is there anything else from a hospital room that you'd like to import?
Room.
A hospital room
Yeah.
that you'd like to import into your own room?
Yeah. I think the TVs on those arms that are attached to the
They're
ceiling.
great, aren't they?
Absolutely.
What about the very heavy doors that lead to the toilets? Why are they so heavy?
Yeah, that's true.
It's like
Too
they're
heavy.
reinforced.
Safe from the X-rays.
These doors have a 5-star NCAP rating.
No, I had a friend who actually used to live in an old sleep clinic. So it was weird. So it's been converted to residential, right?
Oh, okay.
So there was about 5 bedrooms down this hallway that were their bedrooms. And the crazy thing is, in the living room was like a scrolling text board. And they all had buttons in their rooms. So they could press it and it comes up with the stuff.
Wait, so what was the purpose of the scrolling text board?
Oh, so when people, they hit a thing, it says go to whatever room, I think. Something like that.
That's amazing. So they didn't decommission the tech in this sleep
Not
clinic.
fully, no. Just getting back to your sheet tucking routine, Christian.
Yep.
What layers have you got on your bed? So you got mattress at the bottom. What's going up from that?
This has really evolved over time.
This discussion.
Yeah.
It's been a big 5 minutes, isn't it?
No, because I feel as though you obviously just work with the sheet structure that your parents have kind of instilled in you.
That's a core inheritance you have.
Yeah,
it is.
absolutely. So it's
Morals, values, and how to make your bed.
so you'd have your mattress, then you have a fitted sheet on top
sheet.
of that.
I've got the fitted sheet as well. Let's go as we go. Do you have a fitted sheet, Dion?
I've got a fitted sheet with the elastic around it.
Yeah, with the elastic.
Yeah. So I used to have so I was growing up. I used to have a lot of blood noses. So
Why did I laugh at that?
laugh at that. Laugh
gonna
at
laugh.
my misfortune.
That's great.
So
You lived near a nuclear power plant.
So my mum used to have an extra plastic sheet beneath the fitted sheet, but I know
wow.
that's unique to me.
Okay.
Oh, that was the reason, was it? You had a plastic sheet underneath your bed.
Just above the head section, or was it maybe a bit further down the bed?
It caught everything. So fitted sheet, and then you'd sleep on top of the sheet, which was on top of the fitted sheet. So you have one fitted sheet, which is kind of your sweat catcher or whatever.
Yep.
And then the sheet on top of that, which is the base.
And you're on top of that sheet.
Yes, you're on top of that sheet. So if I could start again, it's mattress, fitted sheet, then the additional sheet on top of that, which you're on top of.
Okay, you've already lost me there. Keep going.
You're kidding. Okay.
Lost
so
you in
then-
terms of why
I
would
don't
you
have that. No, lost me as in that's not my stack. I'll jump back in when my next sheet appears.
I'm a full stack sleeper. Very niche joke, that one.
Great joke.
To the web development community. So then I'll have a thin sheet, which is on top of me. That's the first sheet.
So you're there, and then the thin sheet comes after
Yep.
that. Okay.
Yep.
I
So
mean,
that's
this
on
is
top of me.
ridiculous.
So thin sheet. So as a child, it would be thin sheet, medium weight sheet,
What?
perhaps woolen,
Oh,
like woolen blanket, and then the duvet over the top.
Oh
you know
my
what?
God.
I'm out. As we discussed in the
You're out of the podcast.
as we discussed in the live show, like 100 pillows surrounding you as well. What? How
So
ridiculous!
that is your normal bed setup.
Not
like a
anymore.
men's-
I have, as an adult, I've removed the middle woolen blanket.
Good.
Yep.
Good choice.
wow, it
Thank
sounds
you.
like you've really grown
So
up.
I go straight from fitted sheet to Doona. That's it. Unless maybe in summer, sometimes I'll have a sheet over the top so I can remove the Doona and still have something covering me. But other than that, that's it.
Fitted sheet to Doona.
Yeah.
You have 2 sheets on your bed.
Oh, and maybe a blanket on top of that if it's cold around my feet.
Okay, so in the winter,
Yeah.
and you want to be
Put it in
real warm, and you want to feel that nice pressure on top of you.
Let me
Just a duvet.
Please let me tell you about the winter.
right.
So I have a thick woolen undersheet.
I feel like this deserves like a wind soundtrack at the back.
A thick woolen undersheet. Then I have an electric blanket?
Yes.
No.
Christian.
No.
Christian, have you ever had an electric blanket?
No.
They are so good.
They're too warm. Your
Put it on one.
your body can regulate its temperature, and the whole idea behind the tucked sheets is it locks that warmth in.
What do you think of that sentence? Your body can regulate temperature. What about if it's really cold?
And you get under the duvet and the thick woolen blanket, and you're just wasting electricity, you idiot.
No, you're wasting sheep.
You're trying to save sheep with my electric blanket.
Exactly.
I think the electric blanket is a bit too much. I think you can just put another blanket on top and you'll be completely fine.
Josh?
I'd be dead without an electric blanket in winter. It's so good.
Then you need to get more sheets.
No, because it's always going to be cold. The worst bit about sleeping is entering the bed when it's cold.
Oh, that's the best bit. That's
Really?
the best bit, because you know it's only going to get warmer and cozier, and you're like, oh, this is very cold. Can't wait.
But why? But I don't understand. I'm trying to think of an analogy with toast, and it's just not working. Why? I don't understand. So you actually love that, the cold.
I love slipping in and it's cold, and you're like, oh,
Josh?
this is going to warm up.
I don't have great issues with it. It's me getting into bed.
But it's freezing. I have a freezing house.
Yeah, I think that's this all comes back to Dion has a freezing house.
I have a really cold house.
You're such a weird dichotomy of everything. You love icy cold water, but you have a freezing house and you hate it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I think my biggest issue with the sheets, though, if you're tucking it in, Christian, how are you going about your temperature regulation? Because often I'll flick the leg out, I'll flip over the sheets over, cool off my feet a bit.
Yeah, so that's the idea behind the secondary layer of sheet, the thin sheet.
Yeah.
I'll kick off the duvet a little bit. And maybe, because I also ride really high with my sheets. They pop up almost above my ear.
What?
So I'll pull them right up above my ear, so just the top of my head's poking out.
Amazing.
At what point are they tucked in on the side then?
The whole time. They're always tucked in on the side.
But how do you fold it down if it's tucked in?
Yeah. I'll give it a bit of a push. But if I expose a little bit of shoulder, I'm cooling down real quick.
Yeah.
Do you think this is how mummies in Egypt came about? They were just being tucked into their hotel rooms really tightly and they died, and then people found them. The pyramids are just hotel rooms.
Josh, could I posit that one of the things that frustrates you the most about Doonas is the fact that you need to take that fucking duvet cover off and put it back on? That is an impossible task.
I've worked out my techniques pretty good. I do like it when the Doona cover is inside out and you start with it inside out.
Oh,
And
interesting.
then you go inside, you put your hands up and you get your hands onto the opposite corners.
Yep.
And then using that, you grab the corners of your Doona and then you shake it all out and flip it back
So
through.
Josh has just done a big Y where he stretches his hands out and then he shakes it all out with an M.
Yeah, but
so it's above his head.
But then also I'll stand on the bed to shake it out and then push it all
Is there
down.
a C and an A?
And then, Josh, when you put the Doona in, you need to seal the Doona. Now, I distinctly remember as a child, all the Doona covers that I sealed were Velcro, and suddenly there was a point...
Buttons.
Buttons. Aren't they fiddly?
Buttons are the worst.
What about magnets?
They should have vacuum sealers.
Magnets would be great.
Too heavy. It'll weigh your duvet down. It'll slip off your bed.
I don't care.
No, you need one of the Glad Snaplock bag things.
Yes!
Just zip it up.
That's so good.
What about this idea?
so
a duvet that already has the sheet design built into it, and you can put the whole thing in the washing machine, and that's it. You don't actually have to take a cover off and on. The whole duvet is the sheet as well.
No.
Terrible.
That is so dumb.
How is that terrible?
Well,
it removes every step.
But that's the whole point of the sheet, is it's easy to wash.
Yeah.
But why
and
can't-
dry.
Okay, so imagine that you throw the entire Doona cover in the washing machine and it's good to go.
Wait, I do that. I throw the Doona cover into the washing machine.
No. Plus duvet. Plus the whole thing.
But it's gonna take...
Okay, Christian. And then what if that doesn't dry that day? You've got no Doona that night.
But imagine if it did.
Okay.
Hang on, wait a minute.
Let's make up
This
magic
is-
Doonas that dry really quickly as well.
Well, are you rotating one? So it's like, if this doesn't dry, I'm fucked for
No,
tonight.
but that's the problem. How often are you washing the Doona? The
Here
whole
we
thing
go.
is...
Here we go. We're back to the towel argument.
the whole-
Nah, don't get into this. People don't want to hear how filthy you
But
are.
no, the whole thing is that, you can have multiple Doona covers And so while you wash one, you put the other one on. But if your Doona itself is wet and needs to be dried, you can't just put that back on your bed.
But don't you think that your Doona's going to be sick as well? Your Doona's going to be dirty as well because whatever permeated into the sheet has probably also permeated into the Doona.
That's a fair point. That's a really fair point.
But that is also the point of the sheet, to protect the thing.
No,
but they're both going to be dirty.
So when was the last time you washed your Doona?
Oh, ages.
Yeah, see, it's not practicable to do that.
Practicable?
Yes.
Practicable. Why don't you just use the shorter version? It's not practical to do that.
Practicable.
Well, we can look it up. Stop having go at me for using correct words. I'm sick of it. But there was this great episode of Oprah, just to quickly divert, that they were talking about cleaning bed sheets, and it was like a guy talking about dust mites and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, so, if everyone, try and do it, once every few weeks or once a month, kind of, as you get a chance. And Oprah's like, ooh, I like to get mine done like every couple of days. Oh. And he was like, well, that's not really practical for most people.
Oh, that's great.
And I was like, yeah, because Oprah, you're not washing your sheets. Someone else is washing your sheets.
I love to wash Oprah's sheets.
But Christian, if you could get your sheets cleaned every couple of days, would you do it?
Absolutely. Yeah, that'd be...
Could be the environment, isn't it?
That feeling, I'll set this up for you now, Dion. The cool, freshly cleaned sheets that you slip into that are firmly tucked in on the side that will heat up but are still clean. That's my ultimate sleep right there.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Christian, Dion, thanks for coming over for dinner tonight.
No worries.
Now, I've got a delicious meal for us. I've got a delicious meal.
Smells great.
And I want to know from you, do you want it served in a plate or a bowl?
I guess it depends on what the meal is.
That is the whole point of this. So tonight we're having spaghetti bolognese. Christian, do you want a plate or a bowl? And you have one clarifying question each. One clarifying question before you must choose. Christian, plate or bowl?
Josh, is it a thick sauce?
It is a thick bolognese sauce.
I'll have a bowl.
Oh, a bowl for Christian. And Dion?
Josh, am I given a knife as well as a fork?
Yes, you'll have all implements.
I'll have a bowl, thanks.
2 bowls. Well, I was going to get a plate. So I'm getting a plate. But looks like the bowls have it. So goodbye to the plates. Hey guys, I was just checking my Instagram feed before and I got through everything and I started to scroll right to to the very, very bottom, and I actually found one from Noah at Arcing Up. And his it's just got this beautiful picture of this, beautiful rainbow. And it said, loving all this rain, just saw my 3rd rainbow. How blessed am I? Does anyone know how to stop rabbits from fucking so much? Hashtag make it rain. Hashtag horny animals of Insta. Dion, I think you were looking at Instagram as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I was looking and I was scrolling, and I found a Instagram post by Beethoven, and his handle is Ludwig van Beets, and he wrote, courier attempted to deliver my new piano today but missed him. Claimed to have rung the doorbell 3 times but didn't hear a thing. Has happened a few times and not sure what's going on. Hashtag couriers, please. Hashtag ode to parcel.
Amazing. I was also scrolling through Instagram and I got right to the bottom and I actually saw a photo posted by Ned Kelly. His handle was at nearly headless Ned. And there's a photo of a mop and a bucket and the caption reads, once I've finished with these floors, I'm turning that bucket into a hat.
So as I was telling you earlier, I went overseas and I went on a lovely airline on the way there and a shocking airline on the way back. But the airline on the way there, they gave out little glasses of water and they were giving hot towels as well. And I I'm only used to getting hot towels at Chinese restaurants.
Yeah.
And I'm very comfortable with where I use them then. But when you get on a plane, you kind of have to think, where am I going to use this? There's this beautiful hot towel. I have to use this sparingly because I've got 24 hours in the air and I want to make sure that I get to all my bits.
You've got about 20 seconds as well to use this hot towel.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing about the hot towel I find is that you've got 20 seconds to use it, and while it's hot, it feels like it's cleansing your face and moving, like removing things. The moment it becomes cold and you use it on your face again, it feels like you're adding layers to your face.
That's right.
It's just the temperature.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing I find, did they serve it with a pair of tongs?
No, they didn't. I wish they did. Damn it. I wish they did.
Would they come individually wrapped, or was it just literally
No,
a towel?
they just handed it out with their hands.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it was weird. But so I did my face a little bit. Then I thought I'd do the back of my neck.
Yep.
Then I started to do my arms.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I thought, why not go for the pits? Go for the armpits.
What? The pits?
Yeah, I just thought I'd been in transit for 8 hours already. I thought I'd stink. They're going to wash them anyway. I should use them under my pits.
Do you think that their intention is, give your whole body a scrub with these?
I don't know why that wouldn't be their intention, Christian.
No, it's a refresher. It's a little and how did you get to the pits? Under the shirt or up the arm sleeve?
No, I did
Up
it.
the arm
Up
sleeve?
the arm
Yeah.
sleeve. When are you ever going up the arm sleeve for anything?
No
I
one's
don't
going
know.
up the arm sleeve.
Wait, how did you apply your mum's deodorant? Up the arm sleeve?
Yeah, I put my shirt on first.
From the collar.
No, I did it. Yeah, underneath.
Okay.
Yeah, from
I
underneath.
see. I just do the face, and I love the neck. So round the neck, back of the neck is a good
great
one, and
feeling, isn't
underneath the front of the neck as well.
I like to get in the ears.
No,
Oh,
you don't.
yeah.
Whose ears?
The other passengers.
Excuse me, do you just mind if I...
No, but I thought it was for hydration because on planes it's quite dry.
and
and
it dries out your skin.
Yeah, planes dry out your skin.
How long is that going to keep you hydrated for? Putting a damp towel on
It's
your
better
face?
than not having a damp towel, isn't it? What are they going to keep bringing more damp towels every hour?
I would love that. In fact, I'd love to see hot towels in many more places.
You know what'd be great? They give you the mini towel and a mini bucket. There's some little boiling water for you, Sarah, as well.
And a mini microwave. You plug it into the USB.
Great idea.
Back to your other the Chinese restaurant.
Yep.
I think I've only ever had the hot towels on a plane. I've never had them before, but that's like a cleaning thing. And my only other experience of that is like the KFC moist towelette,
Yeah.
which is just kind of really disinfectant-y, and I don't like them
Just
too much.
quickly, just on the Chinese hot towel thing, they got a few little images from my childhood. One of them is us going as a family to a Chinese restaurant, my dad getting the hot towel, and him always complaining that it was too hot and moving it from one hand to the other.
This is the same dad who
Yeah.
added ice cubes
to soup.
to soup.
Yeah.
I think your dad has weird tolerances to temperature.
I do as well,
At Chinese
though.
restaurants specifically.
I do as well. Like in the instance that I have a hot drink, I find it very hard to handle hot mugs. I've got very, very
That's
thin.
what a handle's for.
No, but if it doesn't have a handle,
What mug are you holding that doesn't have a handle?
That's a cup.
no.
A mug has a handle.
No, but like at Chinese restaurants, the cups that you have in
they're
tea,
thick enough. Those ceramic ones, they're
not
really
I
thick.
can't touch them.
get a straw.
Yeah, get a straw.
And
Or
also, they're tiny and they're exposed. There's a lot of surface area to expose to the air, so they cool down really quickly.
but what about like out of the microwave? I warm something out in the microwave. 4 minutes later, it's fucking piping hot. My girlfriend can just go and take it out with her bare
What?
hands.
What?
I need
this
something.
isn't saying anything about you. It's saying something about your superhuman girlfriend.
Yeah, maybe she's got amazing calluses, but I'm just,
or no sense of no sensation in her fingers.
Josh, are you able to do that?
No, 2 minutes already. I get a tea towel to hold it. 100%.
Do you know what I've really been getting into the last couple of months, which throughout my entire life I never did? Changing the power setting on a microwave.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
What for?
Because now, instead of just putting it in at a 100% power for 2 minutes, I'll put it in for 4 minutes at 70%, get an even heat.
But doesn't that dry it out like your face on an airplane, Christian?
I just put a moist towel over the top.
Isn't that a thing? Putting a moist towel on top of it.
I heard papyrus for pizza.
Papyrus?
Yeah, if you're
Isn't
sick,
that a fruit?
but if you're sick of your pizza getting floppy instead of crispy,
I'm sick of this.
apparently if you put papyrus over your pizza, it
Hang
keeps
on.
it a bit crispy.
I've heard
don't
if you
know
put
what
a glass of water in there.
Isn't that for steaming things?
Yeah, isn't that
Oh,
for
no wonder
cleaning?
it gets floppier.
No, it's for cleaning. You put a lemon in the microwave to clean it, don't you? What's papyrus?
Papyrus is like Egyptian paper. That's actually what I know it as. I have no idea.
It's like banana leaf.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
so,
It's
yeah.
parchment.
What are we doing? We got to get away from this stuff.
Isn't papyrus parchment?
Yeah, I think so.
We've had such an Egyptian theme throughout the show. I've talked about the pyramids, but we didn't get onto Egyptian cotton, but I feel like we were very close to getting onto Egyptian
Well, we
cotton.
did speak about sheets.
We talked about mummies as well.
My mummy bought me Egyptian cotton sheets. That ties it up.
Really, really good. You know what's really, really good? Really, really good. You know what's really, really good?
You know what's really good? When you earn enough money to not always have to sort from low to high.
Really good. Really good.
Really good, Josh.
Really good. Do you know what's really good? When your suitcase is one of the first to come out of the airport baggage carousel.
Really good.
Really good. You know what's really good? A clean sticky tape tear with your teeth.
Really good.
Really good.
And we love hearing your really good. So make sure you get in touch on all our social media for our Really Good Fridays. We're now, at the moment, we're doing a promotion where you actually have the chance to win some Hey Tiger chocolate for the best Really Good for the week. And from one of our recent winners, you know what Nick Rowan thinks is really good? When the deli server picks up the perfect weight that you ordered first time.
Really good. Really good. Really good. Thank you for listening to Velcro to Patchwork. That's been patch 48. That's 2 more before 50. Please check us out on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We have a Patreon page. We have some really cool stuff on there. We release a new mini patch. You can add it to your podcast app. It's a great way of getting extra content from us for as little as $2 a month. So go to www.patreon.com/welcome to patchwork. If you haven't already, then you're nuts. As we do every week, we sew a new patch into our quilt of friendship. Josh, what patch did you sew in your quilt this week?
Thank you, Dion. My patch this week is me wiping my underarm with my mum's hot towel. And Christian, what patch did you sew this week?
This week, I sewed into my patch, me, arriving home after a long day at work, wrapping a hot towel around my neck, and hopping into the sauna under my sheets. And Dion, what did you sew into your patch this week?
My patch this week is an air hostess offering Ned Kelly a cold towel and a tub of brushed metal polish. Thank you for listening to Welcome to Patchwork this week. I've been Dion.
I've been Josh.
And I've been Christian.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Their slogan would be "Dreams last for so long."
Oh, that's great.
At Jewel Changi.
Say it. Just say it.
Dreams last
No,
for
sing
so long. What?
No, just that's great.